Hi, I'm Amy. We are today going to learn about the forward-backward Yinning and Yanging of the legs, which is a very important component to all of the forward-backward movements in Tai Chi Chih. So we need to learn this part first, and then we can start adding the arms for all the subsequent movements. So stand with your feet in a V, and I've actually put a piece of tape down on the floor. You might want to try the same thing to make sure that when you're stepping out, and relax for a second, when you step out, that you don't step out and cross the midline, which would create instability, and you also don't step out too far over to the other side of the midline, which would create then a diagonal movement in the body, not a forward-backward movement. So what we're looking for with my feet as hands is we start with our feet in the V, and then we step forward, and here's the midline. This gives us the best feet position for the body to move very fluidly from the dantian, which is the spot 2 inches below the navel, and that's really what we're attempting to do, is to move fully from the dantian, and everything else falls into place. So here we go. Feet are in a V. Remember, if we're standing straight up, we're going to drop our knees a little bit so that in the resting pose, if we were like this, our knees are softly bent. And just take a breath. Now, shift to the right, sink a little more, and without moving the upper body, step forward with your left heel and place it on the other side of the line, or piece of tape. And then put it down to make sure that the inner line of the foot is parallel to that line. And if it's off to the side, you just need to note that tendency and make sure that when you place it down, it's straight. So you don't want a wandering foot, you want it straight ahead. That will help again with the power of the movement that we're generating from the dantian. And that's why we're doing all of this. Roll on the heel so the toes come up. Keep the upper body nice and straight, and then begin shifting your weight by softening the front knee. We're going to be shifting the weight as if moving from the dantian, as if a string is pulling us forward, and stop when you've reached the midpoint in your feet, where both feet are equally weighted and both knees are equally bent. Now keep shifting your weight forward to the point where the back heel is light but not off the ground. And then shift a little further forward, so the weight shift forward is what pulls the back heel up, not pushing with the toes. And then same thing, we're going to initiate the weight shift back by softening behind the back knee, absorbing the weight shift back, rolling on the front heel so that the front toes come up. I'm now going to turn to the side and do the whole thing again so you can really watch, so just relax. So here we are, feet are in a V, and now I have the wooden slats to help me, so you might have wooden slats to help you too. Shift, sink, step forward without moving the upper torso on the other side of the line, and then come forward to the point where your feet are double weighted or equally weighted, and the knees are equally bent. Now, as if a string is pulling you forward from the dantian, that spot 2 inches below the navel, keep coming forward from here, not here, and reach the point where the back heel is light but not off the ground, and then come forward a little bit more. So I'm not pushing, I've shifted forward, and so the back heel is pulled up. And now I'm going to come back, I'm going to soften like a millimeter behind the back knee, and shift my weight back as if I'm sitting back on something, rolling on the front heel to shift my weight back. My upper body is straight, coming forward again, freeze at the double weighted point where it's equally weighted, and then keep shifting forward, back heel is light, keep coming forward a little bit more. Your back heel only ends up being off the ground about 1 inch, not more than that. We'll go a little faster, shifting forward, passing through the double weighted back heel light, shifting back, rolling on the front heel so the toes come up. It's like you're gliding. Let's do one more. Feel the soles of the feet. Feel the urge to lean. I could just feel that in myself. So this is just, we all have these tendencies. Careful, soften, shift back. Once the weight's fully on the back foot, bring in the front foot. Take a breath. Stand up. And then we'll do it on the right side because, we need to feel things out on both sides. Our bodies are different on either side. So you want to really practice on both. And you'll see why when you start learning around the platter, which is the third series in the movement series, Tai Chi Chih. Here we go. Feet are in a V, relax. This time I'm going to shift to my left, sink a little more. Without moving the upper body, I'm going to step out with the right heel and place it very gently down. And then I'm going to put my foot all the way down and check that the inner line of the foot is parallel to the, maybe in your case, tape as well, the taped line down here. And if I slide it back, there's about an inch between my heels. This is a good position. So here we are again. We're just checking our own tendencies. Shift, sink, step, touching lightly with the heel. And now we're going to shift forward into the right leg. Pausing at that point where we're double weighted, and we're going to continue to move forward now from the dantian as if a string is pulling us forward to the point where the back heel is light but not off the ground, and then come forward a little bit more, and then soften like a millimeter behind the back knee, that's your left knee, and absorb the weight shift as if you're sitting back on something. And then roll on the front heel. So now I'm going to turn to the other side so you can see from the side. You can relax or you can stay in the position depending on what's fatiguing for you. So here we go. Shift, sink, step forward with the right heel. Come forward, double weighted, keep coming forward. Back heel is light, weight shift pulls the back heel up, soften behind the left knee, roll on the front heel, come forward, rest in the phase where both feet are on the ground, double weighted, then roll up. Double weighted, double weighted, double weighted, double weighted, then the heel comes up. Flat, flat, flat. Don't be in a rush to pick up the heel or the toes. Very good. Bring in the front foot back into the resting pose. Take a breath. Focus on the feet, and then stand up. So that practice right there was the Yinning and Yanging, forward and backward movement of the feet to teach you about the weight shift for the next series of movements, starting with around the platter.